Hey y'all, this is Allison hanging out in my space to craft, and I just finished putting together 3 page kits, and I'm going to start on the first one. I'm going backwards. This is the last page kit that I did, so go back and watch that video from yesterday. And this is when my daughter was having to say goodbye to her puppy. The one thing I haven't pulled out is any puppy dog ephemera, so I might see what I can add to that. I knew I wanted to use blue, but let me see in my animals binder what I have that might match, because these colors are different. But I might even have an actual puppy dog in here, and that would make me happy. And I don't want to add red for sure. So let's go and see what we have in the blue area. I have the teddy bears. Aw, there's the word dog. There's a puppy love. I think these are, this one might work, but it's not the title that I really wanted. So I'm gonna hold off on that. There's a puppy. And that puppy looks like our puppy. So that is going to be what I use. I also have this one, but I think I like this one better for this page. All right. And that is from a swap. So let's set that aside. I will probably keep the photos. I may keep them together. We'll see. I didn't mat them to keep them together. I matted them to separate them, but let's see what we come up with for a, oh, I know what I wanted to do. Christy's Beautiful Life, 30 Days of Sketches is coming up again in September. This is from, I think, the last one. And I didn't do this day 1 sketch, but instead of hexagons, I do have some hexagons. I could do that, but I think for this page, it needs to be hearts. So I need 3 paper hearts, and then I will add to these 2 photos. So I will separate these, and then I'll just have photo, and then the title. And then I can do hearts here with florals on top of them. So that is my plan. All right, I think I've got a bunch of papers, so that will be perfect. Both for, I don't know if I want to mat the photos or put them on top of hearts. I may put them on top of hearts, even though they're not going to be heart-shaped. I don't think I can get them heart-shaped. But that is going to be my background, and then I have this for fussy cutting flowers if I want, and this for hearts or matting. So let me, do I want to put this on a frame? This one might be good to put on a frame, even though she doesn't have that in her thing, just because I find when it's a light colored background, it helps it. So let's frame this up. So I decided to take a 1/2 inch off 2 sides to allow a 1/4 inch mat or border, if you will. And I'm using this darker blue for the frame, and I'm going to take out the middle, and I'm doing that at 1 inch all the way around. And that will still give me 3/4 of an inch on which to put adhesive. I did have to adjust it a little bit to get it on there, and I didn't ink it before I put it down. So now it's down, and now I'm like, oh, let's ink it. And I'm going to use Hickory Smoke for the inking, which is kind of a dark gray. I didn't want to use black. There's a lot of grays, some dark blues, or even blavy, somewhere between navy and black on some of the papers. So I figured that this gray was going to be a good compromise. And I've gone off and cut using 3 different papers, 5 hearts, and then I did the photos in a heart. I think it's just 1 size smaller. So as you can see, I'm still inking everything. Now, I couldn't make the heart fit the whole page. Had I rotated them before I printed them, I probably could have, but it just took off the bottom of each photo. But that won't be that hard to hide under ephemera. So if you remember in the sketch, it had the hexagons. Were they hexagons? Yeah, I think they were hexagons. And they were sort of nestled in with each other, and they had 4 hexagons. Well, I'm going to do an odd number because I had 2 photos instead of just 1 photo. And so I'm just not quite random, but just, you know, adding the hearts on there. And right now I'm just sort of auditioning things. I do end up scooting this up a bit more, just because it gets a little too scrunchy down at the bottom of the image. But for right now, I'm just going through all of those different components that I had pulled and seeing what I think might work. I knew I wanted to add another heart by the puppy dog ephemera, but I didn't want that beige one because I didn't think the dog would be able to stand out with it. So there is another heart that I'll use on, I think, the chipboard. So I'm just pulling a few little stickers off of the different sheets that I think will work. And then kind of pull out the chipboard. And here's that other darker heart. And I like that because that puts sort of that darker blue on the page in 3 spots. And I'm not hard sticking anything down. I'm just sort of selecting and giving a starting point for where it might go. I do end up pulling both of the large floral pieces, and the sketch had like florals on top of the hexagon. So this is true to, I would say, true to the sketch. So there were only 2 large florals on the chipboard, so the 3rd one I'm going to fussy cut out of a piece of paper, and I decided not to use that one because of the cream background. So I have gone off and fussy cut, and you can see that 3rd one is a little bit lighter than the chipboard ones, but that's okay. And then I'm going to add some more of that mustard yellow in with it as well, and a couple of pieces of chipboard just so it also has that elevation. And you can see I have moved up. They're a little bit less in a row, those top 3 hearts. And so I feel it's a little more random and less pure diagonal line now. And I also used those little matte papers that I pulled out, and I cut a heart the same size as the photos. I didn't have a size in between, so I went ahead and used the same size, and then I just offset it, so I'm doing it like a shadow above the photos. Just I pulled it. I wanted to get it on the page. It's going to add more dimension and more texture. So now I'm just auditioning, trying to figure out where I want to put things. At this point, I have actually stuck down the 2 chipboard big flowers, and so that's making it a little difficult for me to tuck things under it. But I do manage to do it. So just adding a few bits and pieces here and there. And I think I also, while I was off camera, inked all of the components as well. And now it's time for some enamel dots. I don't have a lot left, and I didn't want to use the cream colored ones or that lighter blue. I wanted to use the dark ones and the yellow, and then the sort of heather gray ones. So I do manage to get 3 clusters out of it. And then I'm going to add some gold spritz. That definitely felt like the right color with all of this mustard yellow. I'm just doing it on those clusters. Now we'll take some close-ups. Please give this video a thumbs up, you guys. I really enjoyed using this sketch. I can't wait for Christy's Beautiful Life Series 19, I think it is. That starts September 1st, so I need to get moving on some of those pages. So here we go. Come on back to My Space to Craft for more fun projects.